Hi you guys, so I'm coming to do a tutorial on my edges. Um, my natural hair video should be up prior to this video. Um, yeah, this is just kind of how I wear my hair underneath my wigs, and it just kind of shows how I got to this point. So now it's time to do my edges, and I have found a holy grail edge control that I absolutely love. I put this stuff on, lay them down, and I swear my edges go nowhere. I've been using it all summer. I actually used to perm my edges at least like twice a month before I go to Miami in May, and usually before Thanksgiving, Christmas time, something like that. I would perm them again. But ever since I've been using this product, which is Gorilla Snot Gel, I haven't had to perm my edges. So it's been since April of this year, the last time I permed my edges, right before my birthday, because I had some really straight Brazilian hair and I wanted it to match. So it's been since April since I permed them. But I would always perm them in a way where you couldn't tell that they were permed, if that makes any sense. Because like looking at it now, you wouldn't think that I have ever even permed my edges because it looks like it's all natural. And I know a lot of people kind of part their hair off and perm them, but I don't like that because I didn't want my hair to be permed. So I found a way around that, and I loved it. So if I have to, like I will again, but using this stuff I won't have to. So I'm just going to demonstrate really quickly how I use this and how I get my edges to lay down super duper flat, last absolutely all day. And yeah, so first off, every night I always, with this stuff, this is a very thick build up formula. It will build up on your hair if you let it. You just can't let it, like, you can wear it maybe like 2 days without washing it out, but after about 2 days, you're going to have to wash it out. And the only thing I do at nighttime, I just wet a wet wash or hot washcloth, and I just go over my edges really, really well. And you can kind of feel, it's kind of slimy feeling, whenever you're washing it out. So you can tell if you still have a little bit of product in your hair or not. But I just make sure that, I don't feel any of that snotty, slimy feeling, and we're good. And then I just go through and put some of my black Jamaican castor oil on my edges every night. And I feel like that just kind of helps with, any breakage that I may encounter using edge control every day or whatnot. So I'm just going to prevent that before I even get thin in edges. So using this Gorilla Snot Gel, I am wearing kind of like a little side part closure. So you just want to make sure that part is straight, and mine basically is. And I do tie my edges up every night with a scarf or something like that after I put my castor oil, and that kind of stops the breakouts that may get on my face from that heavy oil, because I do have oily skin. So make sure you keep that in mind with using that black castor oil. Make sure you tie it up afterwards, and I use that same scarf every time to tie my edges, differently than a different scarf than I use to tie up this gel. So I'm just going to take this amount of gel, and I'm just going to kind of clobber that onto my hair. Clobber, is that a word? I don't think so. I'm just rambling. Y'all don't pay me any attention. I just wanted to show y'all how I did this. Yeah. So you're just going to continue to put all that on there, like so. And you want to make sure you get every little part that you really want to lay down. And this may seem like I'm using a whole lot of it, but I promise once you tie it up afterwards, a lot of it soaks up into the rag, which is why I use a different one at nighttime. And you do have to wash your rag that you tie your edges up with at least like once a week, because it gets nasty. Or mine does anyway. Maybe you don't have to use as much, but this works for me. And then I just kind of, finger it through my hair and just kind of press it down, making sure it's completely saturated the way that I want. And then I go back through and I do these little baby hairs right here, because those are the parts that I really like to lay down, because I like to swoop them. So now I just take a little brush. This is actually just like a teasing brush I bought from Sally's. But it's just really tiny and small and very thin. And I just like it to do my edges with. And so I make sure I define my part more. And then I go through and I just brush them at first. Just brush them, make sure they're nice and straight. That they're going to be laid. And do the same thing with the other side. And I know a lot of people say that this gel doesn't work for their hair. So maybe it is different hair textures that it doesn't work for. But if your hair is something like mine, it works. I think it'll work for any hair. I think people just aren't using it right. So now I'm just taking just a little more because I brushed all that product into the hair. And this, once I apply that, this is when I go through and I do my little swoops wherever I want them. Sometimes they're more dramatic than others. And I always do this before I put on my makeup because it gives my hair time to sit and dry, because if I do it afterwards, I'll be ready to take it off. So while I'm doing my makeup, my hair is just kind of already, my edges are cooking. My edges are cooking, yo. I'm just kind of swooping those. You can swoop those as much as you want. Today I'm not going to be super drastic with it. Okay, so once you got it like that, you kind of see how your edges are. They look nice and laid and straight. And then this is when I use my wig cap, which is just pantyhose. I don't use like a regular cap. I really don't care. These are like 33 cents at Walmart for a pair. And make sure you always get the queen size, because the regular size will hurt your head. And I put this on. And my hair in the back, I just kind of flip it up. And that's what gets my wigs to lay so flat, because it's not mounted up in the back of my, in the nape of my neck. They're kind of like folded up into my hair. You just kind of want to press down to make sure, you know, you ain't got no lumps nowhere. Then I take this and I pull it pretty tight and I just tuck it in the back. Like so. Okay, so here's your edges. You want to make sure your part is still nice and defined. And any touch-ups that you may want to do, because once they set, they are done. I'm telling you. It's a wrap. There is no going back. So I just straighten my part up a little more. It really doesn't matter. And then I take a scarf. This is just like a big black long scarf that I have. And I'm just going to use this to tie up my edges. I usually just kind of fold it in half, just as long as your edges are laid. Pull that down. And you do want to pull this not so tight that it gives you a headache, but tight enough to where, you know, they're pretty firm. And then I like this one because it's like reinforcement when I use a longer one, because then I'm able to come to the front and make sure I get right there where those tiny hairs are laying and kind of be able to reinforce that and tie a knot. And you always want to tie your knot somewhere different. You don't want to do it in the same spot all the time. It's not good for your hair. So this week is to the side. And this extra band just kind of helps enforce everything. And I can't stand my ears being tucked in, so I do untuck my ears. But everything else is laid down. You can kind of push it back a little bit, or just make sure your baby hairs are just, you know, really laying down. And that's it for my edges. And I will be back after I finish my makeup. Alright, so now that my makeup is done, so my hair has been sitting, I did my makeup, so my hair has been sitting maybe about 20-30 minutes. So yeah, now we can take this off and you can see how laid your edges will be. Moment of, not a moment of silence. You know what I mean, whatever. Anyway, and it will kind of like stick and you just kind of peel it off like so. And then if you do your makeup last like I do, you're going to have this demarcation line. And this is when I just take my contour color powder and I just kind of fill this in so it doesn't look too different. And you can't even tell that was there. Like so. And your edges are nice and laid, and I promise you they're not going anywhere. And then all you have to do is put your wig on, and I bobby pin mine, so I'm gonna go put my wig on and I'll be right back. One more time.
Countdown, beats.com.